Unleash the power of knowledge and connect with the heartbeat of the African diaspora. Download our African Diaspora News Channel app now on Google Play and Apple App Store. Stay informed with authentic and diverse perspectives, breaking news, and cultural insights. Immerse yourself in a community that celebrates unity, resilience, and progress. Experience the vibrancy of the diaspora at your fingertips. Don't miss out. Empower your perspective today. Search African Diaspora News Channel and join the conversation.
ECOWAS thought AES was just making noise, but now AES is building banks, railways, highways, and even its own airline. This is bigger than anyone expected. My name is Ify Igwe, and this is the African Diaspora News Channel. So let's break this development down, because the Alliance of Sahel States, that is AES, is making serious moves, and ECOWAS is shocked. You see, a few months ago, Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, they made headlines when they announced that they were leaving ECOWAS. We spoke about it here on this channel. At the time, a lot of people thought, it's just political drama, it's not gonna last. But now, these countries are proving they're not just walking away, they're building something new, something so powerful. AES is creating its own regional investment bank to fund massive projects across Sahel. Just think about it. ECOWAS relies on external funding, but AES is saying, you know what, we'll fund our own development. And that's a game changer, right? And they're not stopping there. They've also approved a few things. They've approved a 1,446 kilometer highway linking Niger and Mali. Also, a regional railway system to boost trade and mobility. A Confederal Airline to make travel easier within AES. 2 million hectares for agriculture to improve food security.
Well, now a new player is emerging on the African continent. The Alliance of Sahel States have decided to create a new bank, the AES Investments and Development Bank, with a startup capital of 500 billion francs CFA. Could this institution provide a real alternative to the International Monetary Fund and World Bank? Will it reshape the balance of global finance, giving developing nations more control over their economic futures? Alternatively, will it simply be another lender in a complex financial ecosystem? Today we dissect these questions with our experts this day, and asking the question, is the global financial order on the brink of transformation?
Here's the part that's really making ECOWAS nervous. AES isn't shutting out West Africans. Even though they're leaving ECOWAS, or they've left ECOWAS, they're keeping their borders open to ECOWAS citizens, creating a visa-free zone. So that means while ECOWAS struggles with internal disagreements, AES is here forming its own independent, self-sufficient bloc. And let's be real, this is about more than just economics. This is about African nations breaking away from old power structures and proving that they can stand on their own. And ECOWAS? I don't think ECOWAS saw this coming. And let's not forget Ibrahim Traoré, the young and fearless leader of Burkina Faso, who has become a symbol of resistance and self-determination across Africa. His bold stance against neo-colonial influence and his push for true sovereignty have inspired other nations to take action. Now we're seeing that same fearless energy in AES, breaking away from ECOWAS, securing their own resources, and charting their own path. Now, Traoré's influence is undeniable, and it's clear that a new wave of leadership is rising in Africa.
I want to think that when they decide to create such an investment bank, it is because they feel that Africa, for over the decades, has been lured into wanting to think that they could develop, they could grow with the IMF and the World Bank, when in reality that has never been the case. Exactly. And you will understand, therefore, when I mention the idea of the spirit behind the creation of such institutions, the spirit I want to think behind the IMF and the World Bank was never one intended to permit Africa to emerge. You see, so at the end of the day, people sit somewhere, conceive an idea, create an institution of theirs for their own intentions and reasons, and then they lure Africans into thinking that we are one. And so you go to them. If you take a country like Cameroon, we cannot remember. In fact, we know how many thousands of billions we are owing them today.
So what do you think about this? Can AES really succeed on its own, or will ECOWAS find a way to pull them down? Let's talk about it in the comments. My name is Ify Igwe, reporting from Nigeria. See you on the next video.